Hello everyone, welcome to round 2 of HLR. Today we're going to be riding around the circuit of Abu Dhabi, everyone's favorite circuit. Normally a season finale or some more close to the end of the season, but here this year we're going to put it early on, race 2. Might add some new challenges. Best overtaking spots is the chicane of turn 7 and turn 9. Turn 1 can be deadly on lap 1. I've seen it happen before. Hello everyone, if you're watching, please, you can drop by, say hi. I'd say we have a pretty good race set up. Last week's winner, TTM Stonks, is going to be absent from this week's round 2, which is going to leave the championship open. And perhaps Josh Gilly could redeem himself after DNFing last weekend. Maybe Beastie could grab the championship lead and run away with it again. You never know. But it's going to be a tight season no matter what. I can already feel it. We're now waiting for all the drivers to, show up into the lobby. Sadly, I don't have all the cool graphics that we had last week because, well, I'm not home right now. I'm in a hotel room streaming after an incident last week. But next week it will be back to how it was before. That's a good. As we wait for all the drivers to start trickling in. Restart time is 7:30, so I'm sure a lot of drivers will want to get those last few laps of practice in. They normally will flood in as close to the time as they can get. There they are, they're slowly trickling in. If you are watching this in post, you probably skip ahead 10 minutes while we do wait for all the other drivers to start showing up. I start streaming 15 minutes early to just make sure we don't have any kinks. Using a new setup in It's working good so far. Hello, Sumi. Funny you can chat in YouTube, but you couldn't race. Slowly trickling in, up to 10 now. I'll probably end up with around, I believe it's 15 to 18. Getting closer. There's 13. We're almost there. Almost half past. It's a possibility we may hold over a little bit, waiting for some other drivers to join, but I will inform you if any delays do occur. Well, it is half past. Half up to 14 now. See who we are missing. I believe we are Find Waldo, Bad Denny Blake, EE Rapid, I believe. I believe those are the few we are missing. So it looks like we will be either 14 or 15. We're missing EE Rapid, I believe is the last person. Soon enough. Alright, Lobby will start at 20 till 8. So 4 more minutes. If I had to make any predictions as to who this top 5 would be, I would probably have to say I'd say Josh Gilly first, doing what Hamilton couldn't last year. Beast DP2. I'd say Nomad or Hard JP3 or 4. And maybe Chaz. I'll say Chaz P5 if he can get a solid lap in. I believe he can. Two more minutes till you're ready up and start off this short qualifying. Definitely a hard track to get a good lap in. Turn 1 can be killer on some laps, but it's not the end of the world if you invalidate early on. You can just back off and go the next one, saving fuel. But the real killers can be, I'd say, turn 12, the turn after the triple chicane. That one can hurt. And if you miss the braking zone, turn 15. Turn 18 is easy to invalidate and spin as well if you hit the orange curve on the outside. And turn 19, hard to get the throttle down. Easy to spin. But soon enough we'll find out and see who can master the track of the 14 we have here today. If you have any predictions as to who it would be, you can drop them down in the comments. "15 seconds till we all ready up and start off the session. Round 2. Going down to Dhabi. Round 2 of 12. Who's going to take pole? Let's find out. As the clock strikes 7:40, he's starting. Very shortly. Oh, still need... Oh, someone is disconnected. Oh, it was Chaz who clicked spectator. Typical Chaz. And here we go, now the clock's starting. Here we go. Qualifying will be underway very shortly. I won't be surprised if we see one of the quicker drivers lower down thanks to the difficulty of getting a solid lap in at this track. Especially when drivers are pushing at the limit. very easy to invalidate. I would say it's as bad as Mexico or Austria, but it's definitely in the top 5 easiest to invalidate. From personal experience. Alright, session starts. Here we are, we're in to qualifying. 2 of the 14 will be P1 at the end of the 18 minutes. Only one way to find out. See the McLaren of Resgoat coming out first. Alright. Let's go and BC the first 2 on track. Dax coming out as well as one of the Red Bulls and the other McLaren of Magician. I believe that is one of the Ferraris coming out as well. I'm with Josh Gilly on his outlap here. On to the first of the 2 incredibly long straights. Most of the overtaking will most likely be done at these 2 spots. One could remember someone trying to overtake at this chicane right here. He does like to close up on this wall up here, but this time he's going to take the wide line. Could have done that last year, Josh. I believe one of the McLarens has spun it. Resgo to start his lap. Let's ride on board with him. Going to turns 2 and 3. Going to keep it off that curb there. It can really easily spin. Going into the chicane at turn 4 and 5. He cuts that turn. Purple doesn't invalidate. Turn 6 hairpin. I'm going to get the throttle down as early as you can, but not spin out traction. Runs a little bit wide there, losing a little bit of time, and one of the Alpines, I believe it was Dax, has spun at around turn 3. The curve I told just a second ago you don't really want to touch. I bet he might have touched it. Clobbering that chicane curve, you don't want to do that. You do want to cut the second one though. Good lap so far from Goat. The long back stretch. Up to turn 9. You don't really want to hit any of these curves. They can really hurt the lap, except for the last one you want to cut. Runs wide, keeps it valid. Runs wide again at turn 12. And in sector 3, turn 14. Up to turn 15. Hits his braking point. Easy to miss that one. Under the hotel, turn 16. 17, takes it nice and cautious, just going to hit the wall. 18, misses the apex, turn 19, the last turn. Cuts, and he will come across the line, 138.7. Nomad is coming through the line here. See what time he's due. Baggins is retired. Nomad goes to 135 flat on the mediums. A nice lap there. Wonder if he will want to try and start on the mediums, especially with short qualifying. Dax is invalid on his lap. Looks like Beastie came back in and switched tires. Josh Gilly goes 0.006 of a second faster than Nomad. That very, very close gap. That might come into play at the end of the session. Uzik does a lap good enough to go to P3. And I believe that is the Alfa Romeo of Beastie coming across the line to start his first flying lap in the mediums. Turn 3, keep it off the curb, touches it a little bit, loses it. Yep, just like that. As I said earlier, you really don't want to touch that curb of turn 3. It's so deadly and can easily send you into a spin, as we just saw there. Aldo coming to the pits. There's Fizz is going to start a lap. Both the McLarens look like one of them's coming to the pits, one of them is about to either start a lap or finish it. So far, only 4 drivers have done a lap. Fizz goes fastest in the first sector. Coming around the turn 6 hairpin, nice and tidy. Down the first of the 2 straights. The Ferraris coming to start another lap. I believe Chaz is coming across the line, and he does a time that is the slowest of all the times that has been set so far on the mediums. Coming up to turn 9 now is Fizz. See what time. He's done in the second sector. Not as good as the first sector, timing wise. Coming through the chicane, a nice angle here. Good lines through, up to turn 12. Through 15, 13, 14, and 15. Easy to miss the braking zone. Hits it. It's the apex late, but doesn't lose much time. Going through the last few turns now. If you really want to stay off this orange curb, it can just ruin the session. Comes across it, keeps it nice and tidy. Through the last turn. Don't lose traction. Doesn't. And he can come across the line. Does a 136.5. Enough to go P3. Position as an invalid lap. Just get the hippo on a lap here on the mediums. Coming through the triple chicane. You turn 12 very hard on that. I believe Magician has retired somewhat awkwardly and the exit of turn 1. It looks like the Ferraris might be setting up a slipstream down the stretch. No, not really. Running wide. Keeps it valid though, Kip. The last turn. Keeps it in. It's going to be a valid lap. We're going to have to go P5. 136.7. So far, the only 2 drivers that have really set a truly competitive lap time is Josh Gilly and Nomad. Chaz has gone up to P3. About just over a second off. Which Red Bull's on a lap? It might be... Fizz is invalid. Nomad is on an out lap. Let's see. Dex might be on a lap. And he is. On the soft tires, we'll see the first true time on the softs here. Purple in the second sector for Dax, coming through the chicane. Nice and tidy there. Hits the apex turn 12. Nice exit as well. Coming to the hotel section. Hits the apex turn 15 nicely. Through turn 16. Misses the apex just slightly, turn 17. Not too much time loss. We'll see what this time will be though once he crosses the line here soon. And the first soft time is not going to be quickest, but it is fourth quickest. 5 thousandths of a second off Little Chaz. So first and second are 6 thousandths off. Then there's a full second gap to P3. And then P3 and P4 are separated by 5 thousandths of a second. It's crazy. We still have 3 drivers yet to set a time. 2 drivers have retired from the session. Beastie hasn't set a competitive lap time. I believe Beastie's on a lap. See what Waldo's doing. He's going into the pits. Josh Gilly might be on a lap. He is coming through, just barely up through the first sector. On his medium run. That run must have been a pretty solid time if he's just fractionally ahead. I believe Nomad is also on a soft lap. He's about to cross the line here soon. Whatever. Here comes Nomad on the sauce. He's 2/10 up, coming through the last turn. And it looks like this will be the quickest. 1:34.6 for Nomad. See what Josh Gilly can do through the triple chicane. Hitting all the apexes very cleanly, very quickly. Through turn 12. Nice on the exit. Nice apex as well. Under the hotel. Like a really nice lap from Josh. Can he go faster than Nomad though? Just barely avoiding that dreaded sausage curb there, coming across the line. Will it be quickest? It is. Less than a tenth separating the top 2 drivers. Beastie's now on a lap. Around him. Dax P4. Guzike goes into P5. Fizz and Kip are both on outlaps, presumably on the soft tires. 6 minutes left in the session. DC looks like he's on a nice lap here. As he goes purple through the second sector. Through the triple chicane. It's that curb, you don't really want to do that. Yellow flags for one of the Hasses, I believe, letting a Red Bull by. Nice and tight through turn 15. This is looking like a really nice lap from Beastie. But will be enough to put him ahead of either Josh Gilly or Nomad, who have now separated their gap to P3 by almost a second and a half. These two are on another level so far. It's 5 minutes, crosses the line. Beastie goes P3, just under half a second off Josh Gilly. Goes to show how good that lap was. RJ's on a lap as well. Runs very wide turn 12. Surprisingly keeps it valid. I believe he's still pushing as well. Coming up on the Alpha, Guzike, I believe. And he's invalidated. Rain also on a lap here on the mediums. Through the first chicane. Bungle is on a lap, I believe, as Rain goes maybe quickest in the second sector. I don't really know. Graphics can be wrong, but what we see that he has coming through the hotel section, turn 15. Nice. Very nice and close to that wall there. The last few turns. Runs wide. It's still valid. Goes P4. Half a second off on the mediums. Not bad for Rain. Goes from last to fourth. I believe Little Chaz is on a lap as well. Currently about to find a corner. He's 4/10 up this time. Coming through the final turn across the line. He does improve 135.4, but still a really sizable gap off improving his position. But he is quite safe now, at least from Dax, who is also on a lap right now and is up through the first sector. Little rear end squirm through the chicane there for Dax. Might lose a little bit of time from that. There is wide open up to the second, or the triple chicane, turn 9, 10, and 11. Missing that apex, cuts the third one. Runs wide, turn 12, that's going to lose also some time. He's backed off. Rez is on a lap as well right now. He's a 10th down through the first sector. Still 10th down through the second. Winding up. I believe Rez is the only one on a time lap at the moment. With only a few minutes left to go in the session. All the drivers coming out to start their last laps. It's going to be Rez who's going to be the first to do so. From what I saw last lap, the third sector was his biggest downfall. Let's see if he can improve it here. Maybe improve his position. Up to the line. He does improve by 4/10, but does not improve his position as Find Waldo has DNF'd, I believe, in the pit lane. He's wanting the free set of tires. It's not a bad idea from him. Dax on a lap. He is through the first chicane. 7 and 8. Where an incident with an Alpine happened last season. I'm not going to name names, but you know. Dax a 10th up through the middle sector. It's not the biggest time saver though. It's all to play for in this last sector for him. Coming through up to turn 15 now. And you really want to hit this turn, and he does hit it nicely. Goes a little wide though on the exit. It's going to compromise him for the next few turns. Nice and close to the wall, nice and clean as well. Up to the last two turns, this is looking like a really nice last sector for Dax. Can he improve his position ahead of Chaz, maybe up ahead of Rain? Up to the line, he does improve by half a second, but still just over a 10th off of Dax, Dax is a 10th off of Chaz. As now everyone else is on their laps. The first of the Red Bulls to come across is going to be Fizz. RJ is the last driver to start a lap. As Rez has bungled it. Fizz is purple in the middle sector, half a second up on his last time. That'd be enough to put him ahead of Guzike. Can he improve with those softs in the last sector, which is where, as I said earlier, most of the time can be gained or lost on this long lap. Runs wide, turn 15. Compromises in turn 16. Not great if he does want to improve his time here, but time has run out. These are the last laps. Coming across the line, Fizz is going to be the first driver of the bunch to set the time. He goes P5 ahead of Chaz, who's retired from the session. Next driver is going to be Nomad, who will go. He will stay P2. Next up is Josh Gilly, who is invalidated, so that was massive. Nomad had the chance to nab it, but he misses out by just under half a 10th. Very disappointing. Beastie comes across the line, and Beastie does go pole by 2/10 of a second. Great lap by Beastie, recovering after the early spin. Guzike comes across the line, he can't improve. Now there's the two Ferraris of Kip and Harjay. Kip's going to be the first of the bunch. He's down on his time. Looks like he's not going to be improving. He is not. RJ is going to be the last driver across the line. And what can he do? He comes across, goes P2 ahead of Josh Gilly and Nomad. So the two drivers who had dominated the whole of qualifying, almost a full second ahead of everyone the whole session, neither of them are going to be in the front row for the race. Great job from Rain as well. P5 on the mediums there. That could really open him up for some strategies in the race. Rez is going to have free tire choice, as well as Waldo. Musician and Baggins as well. A little bit disappointing there for probably Dax and Chaz. Dax might have been on a good lap the lap he had to back out. But that is the end of qualifying, and it is going to be last year's championship winner, P1, ahead of RJ in P2, Josh Gilly third, Nomad P4, Rain, the first non-British driver in the Haas, P5, on the mediums as well, Fizz P6, ahead of Little Chaz, Alpine of Dax is P8, Guzaik and Alfa Romeo is P9, Kip the Hippo, P10 on the mediums. Rez P11. Waldo, Magician, and Baggins all retired with no time set. However, Waldo will start P12 because I believe he did retire in the pit lane, and he's the last of the bunch to retire. We might see something from Waldo in the race. He might have a strategy planned to start on maybe the hard tires. Go late into the race. As now we will have, hopefully, a 5-minute break if no one readies up, and I have to go to the bathroom. So I will see you all very shortly. Alright, I am back, and luckily no one has readied up. We'll be starting at about 2:08, so around 3 more minutes. I'd say that has to be unfortunate for Josh Gilly and Nomad both. Nomad especially. He had a chance to at least get ahead of Josh, especially with him invalidating his lap, and Josh with the invalidation itself. But I would say we still do have a solid grid for the race. As we saw earlier, even the top drivers are not mistake prone, are not without their mistakes. And also saw a lot of drivers where really struggling to even get clean laps in, so we might have a penalty race by the end of it. And the only two that I saw that had a, I believe the only one that I didn't see have a invalid lap at all was Nomad. He might have a chance to win this race off of penalties. But step one is going to be getting there. And Rain on the mediums and P5 is going to be someone to watch out for, as well as really all the bottom four. Starting on the hards is the optimal strategy for this track, from what I believe. But it was a great lap from RJ going on his last attempt all the way up to P2. If he invalidated that lap, he was starting last. Very big difference in positions from, 14th and 2nd. Yeah, I'm still... I could not predict who's going to win this race by the end, as we are readying up, and the race will be starting shortly. There's the predicted pit stop strategy. It says 2 stop, but you can definitely on the medium stretch for a 1 stop. That's what makes Rain's position so valuable. Rez is starting on the mediums, or on the hards. Waldo, Magician starting on the medium. Baggins, 14th and last, starting on fresh softs. Reyes is disqualified from the session. Well, here we are. Beastie is not really warming up the tires on the back straight, as we really see the Williams and Josh Gilly and Rain both weaving like crazy. Tire heating up. It is very unfortunate for Rez to have disqualified from the formation lap, especially if he's starting on those hards. He really needs to get those up to temperature, and without a formation lap, it's going to be incredibly difficult. I would not be shocked to see him falling maybe even to last off the start alone. There we go. Going to start the race now. All the drivers lose control of their car, and we're gonna have a nice race starting here very shortly. As Baggins, the last driver, turn the final corner and to hit his grid slot. Oh, here we go. Green flag drops, and we are underway for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in round 2 of HLR. It is a great start from RJ. He might even get ahead of Beastie here. go wheel to wheel, a little bit of contact. Beastie has to go off the track here. Inside line for turn 2. Or wheel to wheel through turn 3. Can Beastie keep it off? We saw him spin there in qualifying. Beastie's wheel to wheel, nudging and bumping each other. Steel wheel to wheel. It looks like Beastie might still come out on top of this, but no, Harjay's still keeping it for the hairpin. 3 on the hairpin. Better X is going to go to Beastie, but a little bit of contact as well. Down to the first straight. Josh Gilly pulls out to the side already. Wheel to wheel up to the second chicane. Turns 7 and 8. That is Nomad looking for a move on Josh Gilly. Rain falling down a place, battling with Bungle. Harjay gets through, pushes Beastie off the track, and now Josh Gilly looks like he will have a chance to get up to first here. He's going to be just barely wheel to wheel through the third chicane, but it does look like Harjay's going to keep the spot, but they're still battling it out. And Beastie, or Harjay, keeps the spot. Nomad gets ahead of Beastie as well. Rain has fallen all the way to last. Unfortunate for the driver who started this so highly on the mediums through turn 5. You want to get a good exit here for Harjay. So close between the first 2 drivers. Rez down to last. Dax has a bad start. Had a chaotic start. Baggins, who started last, is all the way up to 6th at the moment. Incredible start from him. Look at that, up 8 positions for Baggins. Beastie from pole is down from 1st to 4th. Cusack from 9th is up in 5th. Looks like we might have had a contact with maybe Dax and Rain that sent both of them. Oh, it's Magician and Rain. They're both in the pits here at the end of the first lap. But Josh Gilly's making for a move here on Harjay. Down the first of the 2 straights. Nomad's going to get past Harjay as well. They're both well clear. Nomad looking for a move. Josh Gilly's going to have the lead. Almost contact between Harjay and Beastie there. Very good reaction times from Beastie to avoid that crash. But here we go down to the second straight. There's not even DRS yet for these drivers. They're still battling this hard. Nomad. Nowhere to go. Harjay ahead of Beastie still. So unfortunate. For Beastie, Rain, who has made up 3 positions after falling down to last. Dax and Magician, who are both over 20 seconds off the rest. Sector flag, Fizz has crashed. That might be a safety car, and it's a VSC. Rez has picked up a penalty as well. Josh Gilly's pulled out a massive gap, it looks like. It might just be virtual safety car, but it might not. He might have just pulled out a second there. I was going to say it might have been incredibly beneficial for Josh Gilly that he doesn't have to battle that fight with the DRS coming as well this lap. But now we won't have the DRS. But Dax and Magician were running was definitely a full safety car. Especially how far behind they are. It'll be hard to make up all that gap under green. But as it stands, we have Josh Gilly up from 3rd to 1st, Nomad up to P2. So the top 2, who had led pretty much the whole of qualifying, is now 1st and 2nd in the race. RJ has dropped 1 position from P2 to P3. Beastie from pole to 4th. Who's like a sizable distance back in P5. Baggins still with an incredible start from him, from last to 6th, and we are under green once again. Waldo and Kip look to be really close. Waldo not really finding any gaps though. Let's go back to the title fight, or not the elite fight, which is now in a 4-way battle. Nomad closing in within half a second of Josh Gilly, so if there was a gap, then Nomad has definitely closed that. 8/10ths back is Harjay and Beastie, who will both also have DRS. I believe this lap, it might be next lap as well. I don't really know how VSC and DRS rules are. But what I will say is that Nomad, coming through the first of the 3 chicanes, is going to be close to at least fight even without DRS. Harjay's falling out of the second. Here comes Nomad. Can he make a move? DRS is activated here. He looks like he will have it, but will he save it for the second straight? It looks like he is. Quite smart play. Josh Gilly runs wide. Switch back here from Nomad, and that is going to be an easy pass for him. No questions asked. Well ahead before the next braking zone. Uzyk and Baggins battling. Baggins has gotten past Uzyk and is now in P5 from last place. Great job, Baggins. You're doing an incredible work here. Gilly, Nomad, RJ, Beastie, all within 2 seconds of each other. Half a second separating the top 2 here as they're about to come onto the main straight. Gilly through the main straight. No DRS in the main straight. Nomad sits the fastest lap of the race. 138.7. Let's keep it nice and tidy for the first turn. I don't think any moves will be made through here. It's very not beneficial to either driver to battle through turns 2 or 3. Yellow flags. Baggins has retired from the session. Oh no! Full safety car deployed. That is terrible for him. He was doing so well. He was in last and worked all the way up to 5th. And it looks like he spun at turn 2. So unfortunate for him. So incredibly unfortunate for him. But also great if you are Dax or Magician. They now get to get back into this race. As I think someone pit? Maybe. I think Magician may have came into the pits there. Let's check the tires. Red's still on his hards. Yeah, Magician has pit a second time. The safety car is going to bunch the field back up. Man, that is so incredibly unfortunate for Baggins. After such an amazing start, in just 2 laps, he was jumped up 9 positions. He avoided all the chaos so well, all the way up to P6, and then a great move on Uzyk into P5, and then just unfortunate that those turns can be deadly. But here comes Nomad and Josh Gilly into the pits. So as well as Beastie and Harjay. Chaz comes into the pits, as well as Rain and Uzyk. Kip the Hippo is going to stay out and take the lead of the race, and so is Waldo, who's going to be in P2. Will any changes happen in the pit lane? Nomad stays ahead of Josh Gilly. I think Beastie jumped Harjay. Unless he's already ahead, but I don't think he was. It's good for him. Looks like Josh Gilly might have gotten past Nomad somehow. What's happened to Nomad? Looks like he may have had a spin and lost some positions. So the provisional leader of the race is now provisionally 4th from the drivers who haven't pit yet. And his tires are going to be not feeling great, I'll tell you that. Well, he does have a nice straight to cool him back off again, and a safety car, so he doesn't have to really push with them. Magician has came into the pits again. He might be an AI, I'm not really sure. What tire has he gone to? Tire. Magician's gone to softs, as well as rain. So, Kip the Hippo, actually, and Waldo, they're only on 5-lap old mediums. So, remember when I said Waldo, by not doing a lap in qualifying, might have just helped his cause? It looks like it has. I think those two drivers are quite literally in first and second. Same with Rez in P3, and he's going to be able to hit to mediums. So that's really hurt Gilly, BC, Harjay, and Nomad. Kazak and Chaz, who's down in 9th. Rez is dealing with the penalty. Up 9 spots is Kip into the lead of this race. Waldo up 10. Rez up 8. Horrible for Beastie, who's lost out 4 positions from pole. Nomad has just gotten slapped left and right. He's got hit by the safety car, and then he's had a little spin, it looks like, out of the pits, and lost 4 more positions. So he's down in 7th from what was the lead. But I'd say the 4 big gainers from this safety car, or 5 of them at least, 5 of them actually, is Kip, Waldo, Rez, Dax, and Magician. Is Dax on new tires? Dax is not on new tires. He might have had an opportunity, but he decided to play it safe. Understandable, but from here it looks like it could be a one-stop, as Rez and Gilly getting very close to each other there, it looks like. They were passing each other back and forth. It might have been contact there, I'm not really sure. Safety car should be in this lap, as everyone is all bunched up once again. And when it does go out, it's going to be Kip the Hippo, who has never won a Tier 1 race in HLR, who's going to be leading them away on lap 7 of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I did not see this coming. That was quite a shock, to be honest. Incredible for these 3. But if you're Gilly, Beastie, Harjay, or Nomad, you're going to just want to get past as quick as you can. As quick as possible, get past these guys. Because if not, then they might have a chance to run away with this. Gilly and Rez, something's happened with Rez. He's lost 2 positions under safety car to Josh and Beastie there. Looks like he just ghosted back. Oh, he's disconnected. Oh, so unfortunate. Kip the Hippo, though, it's going to be leading him away. But so sorry for Rez Goat. He's doing quite well in a podium position there. But here comes Josh Gilly looking for a move on Waldo. Can't find any way past. Rain up to P8. P7, actually. Dax up to P8. Chaz looks like he's lost some positions. Harjay's gotten penalty for ignoring blue flags. Rain has crashed, as well as Dax. What has happened there? Looks like Magician might have been involved as well with little Chaz. Uzak has gotten ahead of Nomad, who's struggling after his spin, but Kip the Hippo is still in the lead. Waldo is looking for a way past. RJ pulls to the inside to defend for the first chicane. Waldo gets past. Josh Gilly looking almost got spun round there. That was very risky of him. At this point, if you're... Beastie's got a penalty as well as Harjay. Contact made from these 2 drivers. Magician's DNF from the race. Kip the Hippo's gotten back past Waldo. But Waldo runs wide. It's going to open up the door for Josh Gilly. Through turns 15 and 14. Wheel to wheel! Oh man, that could only end one way. But Josh Gilly forces that move by. That's Verstappen-esque. Like, you're getting out of my way, or it's not going to be ending well. But it's going to be Kip the Hippo leading this lap. Waldo is going to have a penalty as well. Josh Gilly is in a prime position now. No, he's in no rush for this. He has no penalties. And on much fresher tires than Kip. Chaz is falling back from the pack. Looks like, yeah, Chaz is coming to the pits. It looks like he's had massive wind damage. But a hectic restart. Rain and Dax and Magician all out of the race. Oh, almost in the back there you see Rez losing it, but Josh Gilly gets past Kip the Hippo and into the lead. And my intervals are messed up, so everyone is apparently in the same place. Yeah, we're just all kind of messed up. Yeah, so we don't have gaps anymore. Well, at least for the end of this lap. But it is Josh Gilly at a Kip, Beastie P3, RJ P4, Waldo P5, after it looks like a little bit of contact. Kip the Hippo is doing quite well. I don't know if he's holding on good enough to Josh Gilly, but Josh Gilly has a chance here to run away with this race. Oh, here comes the intervals. Thank you. Well, good thing I get to see what happened there. But Kip does keep this position ahead of Beastie and RJ. Everyone here is close together. This is a massive pack. Josh Gilly can really run away here. DRS is enabled this lap. It might not be good for Kip. He might just start losing his positions, but what a great strategy he's had so far this race. Here comes Beastie getting past. Not really much contest on Kip. Here comes his teammate RJ. Will he let him by here? Not quite. But Kip the Hippo will have DRS on this next straight. If he does have a chance, which he might. It's going to be RJ though, who's going to be one to get past, and Kip isn't even going to fight it. RJ to P3, Kip down to P4, but with no penalties. And so far, it's Beastie and RJ with the 5 for ignoring blue flags, which might have to deal with Rez disconnecting, which may get removed, but if they have to make a pit stop, it really can't, so it's really a 5-second penalty. But now the question is, can Beastie close up that gap to Josh Gilly enough to get into the DRS? He's going to have to really push for it. Because not only is he going to have to get past, he's going to have to pull a cap now as well. Beastie sets the fastest lap of the race. Running wide though, that might be a warning. Chaz is way off the pace at the moment. We're 30 seconds back from Rez, so I don't believe he's rejoined. Guzak has fallen back a little bit. Nomad looks like he's looking to get past Waldo here. Both have DRS, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a fight between these two drivers. Not really. Blocking up though might lead up to some chance here. He uses that ERS, which he's not at the moment. He's running low, it looks like. RJ getting awfully close to Beastie there as well. What are these guys' ERSs looking like? RJ's running low. Beastie's middle of the pack. Beastie and Gilly running similar levels. looks like. A little mistake there, though. Josh Gilly running a little wide there. It might have been a warning. I think that might have been a warning. Rez has gotten another penalty. I think Rez is definitely back then. I'm surprised that the safety car restart. There wasn't another safety car after the madness that had occurred. But the top 5, Gilly, Beastie, Harjay, Kip the Hippo, and Nomad. Kip the Hippo and Nomad look like they're going to be getting close together here soon. Kip struggling with worn tires. They are about 5 laps more worn than the rest. Nomad looking for a way past. He's going to try and stick it back here for the DRS. Almost pushing him through that hairpin. And this shouldn't be much of a task. Much of a fight at all. Aldo had a sketchy restart, but he's still only just under 2 seconds off Kip and getting a P5 here. This Kip and Nomad is battling it out there as well. RJ and Beastie closing up as well. Gap between Josh and Beastie, 1.3 seconds. Kip at the moment seems at least to be hanging on to the back of Nomad. Nomad has struggled ever since spinning earlier on during the safety car. I wouldn't be surprised if this battle continues. As well as Harjay getting incredibly close to Beastie now, within 0.6 of a second. He can keep that gap when the DRS comes. He might have a way to force himself past and himself be the person to be challenging. Chaz picks up a 3-second penalty. I don't really blame him. He's having to push really hard to just try and get back into contention. Although he is still running in the points as long as he finishes. It's going to be a couple. This might be a chance here for Beastie. RJ needing to get a good exit off this chicane, but it looks like Beastie is going to be able to hold on to this place. Yeah, RJ's not really using DRS. Looks like he might be saving. But in the meantime, I think Beastie used a little bit of ERS to defend there, and the gap is shrunken to Josh Gilly, who made a small mistake there, you saw, in the chicane, but a little wobble there for Beastie, nothing major. Yellow flags. That is Kip the Hippo, who had spun. Kip was round, and Guzak and Kip, wheel to wheel. Oh! Guzak thought better once again. It's like the move earlier with Josh Gilly, except that Guzak decides to back out. He played the chicken. These two are so close together. It might end up some battling, especially with Kip having heated tires after the spin. Watch out for these left-right here with Kip. Keeps steady. Well managed from him there, especially with hot tires. We'll run on board with Beastie again onto the back stretch. He's going to have DRS once more. Using any DRS, he's not. He's just looking to close. Pulls to the inside though. Not really wanting to make a move. He got right up to him though. Running a little deep is going to be Beastie. He's going to leave the door open for him. If he uses ERS here, he could easily get past, but I think he's just trying to save some ERS. Guzak gets past Kip the Hippo. Now they're battling, it looks like. Well, I think Kip might have just switched back Guzak there. Guzak lost a lot of ground. Nomad picks up a penalty for corner cutting. So far though for Kip, if he can keep it going, He has no penalties. Same with Guzak. They're not out of this. If there's a late safety car, they could really be brought back into play. Well, a safety car right now would certainly mean that Gilly, Beastie, Harjay, and Nomad could go maybe to another pair of mediums. Guzak picks up a time penalty just as I say he doesn't have a penalty yet. Let's run forward with Chaz for a little bit, see what he's been up to. Going for the triple chicane now. Solid, little on edge. It just looks he's not really having as much left to push for, so he's just playing a little safe. Understandable. I'm not really sure what happened there at the safety car restart, but I'm sure it'll be most certainly looked at after the session. Look at these two. Right up to the back again comes Harjay. But he's going to run deep, wanting to come back, but a little wobble there from Beastie means it's not really going to matter much. And it's only about a 3/10 gap coming down to the second straight. Opening DRS. This looks like the chance it's going to be for Harjay to get past. Pulling to the inside of the triple chicane. Beastie has the move. Locks up though. It's going to leave maybe a door open, but it's not. But he's going to spin round. Harjay's round. Struggling to get going again. That's incredibly unfortunate for him, especially with his penalty. That's almost brought him completely out of contention. I'm not even sure what happened there. It didn't look like there was any contact. I think he just hit the curb and spun it. Yeah, he's really struggling. Those hot tires playing a massive factor. I'm going to keep it nice safe here though. Staying out. Gap from first to second, now 3 seconds. Not counting the penalty. Gilly has been in control this whole race, but anything could change in these last 12 laps. Just ask Hamilton. Gap seemed to be spreading out a little bit now, but around goes Harjay again! He resets the track there. That's going to mean Waldo is going to get past. Kip is now right up the back of them. He let his teammate by earlier, but now it looks like Kip is in the better position of the two. Is Harjay going to look to have a move back here? No, he pulls to the inside. I think he's just... Oh, but a lockup though from Waldo. That might leave an opening here for Harjay. These two are going to battle it out. I don't think... Well, Waldo's not really fighting too hard on this. Harjay gets past quite easily. Back up to P4. This race has fallen apart for him. And he picks up another penalty there. Same with Rez. So unfortunate that's what happened with him. Here in these last 2 laps, it's all fallen away. Will he want to pit here and get off these tires now? That might be something he's thinking of, but he also might be thinking, what if there is another late safety car? Chaz has gotten past Rez. I think Rez might have had a moment. Harjay stays out. Gap in the front continues to increase little by little. Yellow flag. That is Guzak spun. No wing. Lucky to still be in the race. He's got a long way to go. What's happening here? There was very few spins for the last 12 laps now. All of a sudden everyone's going. Massive corner cut there. That might have been a warning. Going off wide again. This is just not very fortunate for Guzak. He's running a solid race. Cutting that corner, that's going to be a pretty big penalty. That was kind of silly. This has opened up Chaz though for maybe P7 potentially. Gaps still seem to be sizable, but I think Waldo might have just made a small mistake, or Kip the Hippo is really closing in upon him, up to wanting to get that P5 on track instead of through the penalties. He's within DRS now. I'd say the biggest question, or not the biggest question, but the question now is, can Guzike still potentially come out ahead of Chaz? Because that could mean almost doubling their points totals. Chaz, who is out in the middle of nowhere, is now might have just picked up 2 places just by keeping it off the green stuff. Going right again onto that curb. That was a little risky there. Into the pits he comes, changes wing. But will Chaz be able to get past? Not really much in a hurry, looks like. Said he had a lack of practice for this weekend. Might have led to a drop in some pace. But it looks like he is going to come out ahead of Guzike as well as Rez. And since Guzike cut that corner earlier, it means that Goat and Guzike almost have the similar amount of penalties. Get the Hippo closing in considerably to Waldo here. A nice amount of DRS as well. RJ's picks up another time penalty, up to 11 seconds now. I'll Kip the Hippo. He's taking these mediums. What is it? 18 laps now? Maybe longer, because he had a tire. He's been on the 17 laps. Him and Waldo. They're taking these tires a long, long ways. BC, the first of the front to come to the pits. Has to serve his penalty as well. In the pits also comes Waldo and Kip. Under the softs goes Beastie. He might have... Oh, he hits the wall on the pit exit there. I don't think he has any damage, but that was a little silly. If he puts in a mega lap as Harjay's spun once again. This is just all falling apart for Harjay. He was in the lead at one point in this race. Just nowhere almost now. Front of the board with Beastie this lap. This is going to be quite a crucial lap of determining if he has any chance of even coming out ahead of Gilly. It's going to have to be quite a mega lap, but he's most definitely going to be pushing. As you can see, he's activated the ERS. This is probably his best chance of either, one, closing the gap, or two, potentially even overtaking him. It's the quickest middle sector of anyone in the race so far. It's about a 25-second gap. Let's check the gap to leader. It's 26 seconds, almost. But Gilly has stayed out. Do they plan on going to the end, perhaps? It's going to be an incredible stretch if they can do it. With RJ spinning, this might open up Kip here. So potentially an incredible P4, really. Yeah, Kip and Waldo both up in many places. Walk up from Nomad there. Beastie and Harjay, not much of a fight. Giving Beastie, though, some DRS in that battle to close up to Gilly. Let's run on board with gap to leader. He's closed it in 2 seconds, just in those last 2 sectors, as Beastie. Will Gilly be forced to come to the pits now. It's Kip and Waldo battling it out, looks like. And those two are going wheel to wheel through the second straight. Staying out again is Gilly. Gilly's, I think he's going to the end here. This is going to be quite a stretch, but I'm not sure how the tires are handling. There's another safety car. This could end out... This might end up, you know, for the Hamilton fan, just like Hamilton did in the race, if there's another safety car, so... I don't want to say anything yet, but it's looking a lot like it. BC sets the fastest lap of the race, way quicker than anyone else has so far. Penalties, Harjay up to 11 seconds now. Only BC and Gilly have... BC, Gilly, and Kip have no penalties in this race so far. This is all shaping up. If something happens later on in this race, then anything could happen. Kuzak is closing up to Rez Goat at the back. 7 laps left. You know, this is almost identical to a certain race from last season so far. Josh Gilly's pulled his gap considerably to Nomad, but the gap to Beastie is now 21 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds. It's closing almost 3 seconds per lap, and with 7 laps to go, it might have a chance of something happening at the end of this race. Kip has picked up his first penalty of the race in his fight with Waldo. Those two still fighting it out. They've been close together this whole race so far. Here comes Waldo. Nomad picks up another penalty. So if Nomad is staying out, then Beastie will probably end up at least P2, I believe. The gap is not dropping very quickly anymore. Waldo looking for a move past, can't really find one though. These two are still going to keep battling it out for another lap. I wouldn't be surprised if that little fight goes to the end. Only the gap was dropped by just only a second that last lap. If Gilly is going to the end, I'm not sure. Yeah, how long would those tires have to go? If he's going 5 more, he'd be taking those tires 20 odd laps. That'd be over 20 laps. It'd be very impressive if he can. Kip is finally starting to look maybe pull away. Goat and Gusite getting close. A mistake there by Looks like RJ picks up another penalty. It looks like he's just really falling off. Kip is closing in at an incredible rate. Beastie has put in a much better lap though. Gap now 17 seconds. I still wouldn't write this race off. 5 laps left. Those tires, I'm sure, are struggling as well. Will Guzike be looking for a move here? It's awfully close. A little switchback, maybe? This looks like he's got him in a sitting duck. Blinking light for both drivers. DRS activated for Guzike. Some weaving by Goat. Close to the wall. These two down the inside. Oh man. Almost major contact. RJ comes into the pits. That was almost tragic, but a mistake there. Guzike might leave this battle open some more. It's been a little enthralling battle, but a mistake by Goat might bring it out away, but I won't write this one off yet. Gap just over a second. What's the gap from the top two? 15 seconds? 5 more laps? It's gonna be tight. It's really just... I don't know. It's gonna be if Gilly's tires drop off a cliff. RJ on fresh sauce. Looks like he might be trying to go for the fastest lap. The gap to the front now. 4 laps to go. Let's take a moment. I'm going to check and see if either of these two have any warnings. Beastie had gotten 2 on the first lap. He's done a great job this whole race then, just not getting 1. Gilly, there's 1 for Gilly. Gilly has 1 warning. So yeah, it's gonna have to be a mega job if Beastie is gonna win this one. Walker and Kip, or Waldo, not Walker. Close, and so is Guzike and Rez. I said that battle, in fact, might still continue on for some more laps, but it looks like it might. Looks like Waldo's got him right where he wants him. And he's gonna breeze past the Ferrari. Up into P4 for Waldo. Reserves on a mission. Let's watch this battle back here. Almost completely out of ERS now is Goat. Both, but Guzike's light is blinking as well, so it's just pure DRS. Oh, braking really early. Guzike. Incredibly early braking there. Almost had to take avoiding action. Comes Rez. Will something happen here? Not quite. 3 laps to go. Gap at front. About 12 seconds. RJ sets the fastest lap. Oh! Round goes Rez. And RJ's picked up another penalty. Guzike, I think Rez just went for a move at turn 15. Comes Kip on Waldo, staying behind. Yeah, he's not wanting to get past. Lockup though Waldo is going to leave him wide open here on the switchback. DRS activated, some ERS. Yeah, this is quite an easy move for Kip. Up to P4. Yellow flags. Rez has crashed. I don't think there's going to be a safety car with 2 laps left. Nomad's pit. Nomad's coming to the pits. Could Kip potentially come out ahead of this onto the podium? Not quite sure. This might be a little bit close. Ferrari driver only 3 seconds off Nomad, and Nomad has some penalties. Check the penalty gap. Yeah, Nomad has 6. It's tight. I think Nomad's still got it. BC's closed up. 10 seconds is the gap now. Coming up to the penultimate lap though. It looks like Josh is going to have this one. After the DNF last weekend though, it's still going to mean Beastie is going to jump into the lead of the standings with 2 P2s. The last lap coming up soon will be Josh. Beastie now P2 on track. I think RJ might have just spun again. I believe he has. In Sector 2. Nomad P3. Looks like it's going to be okay for him as long as he doesn't pick up another penalty for another nice podium spot. 9 seconds is the gap out front, and right as I say that, BC's picked up a penalty. I think that's going to be it. Looks like this one's almost all said and done, as long as no one has any major accidents. Guzak has considerably closed the gap to Chaz. And as it stands, he's going to be picking up yellow flags as some people have gotten punctures, it looks like. I think Chaz might have had a puncture. Check. I'm not really sure. Gap out front now 7 seconds. It's really dropped this last lap. But it does look like it's going to be Josh Skilly winning his first race of the season after a disappointing DNF last weekend. One more corner to go for him. And it's going to be Josh Gilly winning. Slowing down, being a little bit toxic, does a burnout. Man, he really is Max Verstappen, you know. Beastie comes home with a nice P2. Nomad looks like he's going to come pretty easily P3. Kip the Hippo, a nice, really well driven P4. As well as Waldo coming in reserving. Getting P5. RJ, a disappointing day for him. P6. Guzak, P7. And it's going to be Little Chaz, P8. So the top 3, Josh, Beastie, Nomad. That was quite a fight at the end. If there was another safety car at the end, I really think that could have definitely heated up. It really dramatically increased, but good race. Good race for everyone. Congratulations, Josh, winning his first race of the season. Congratulations, BC, now moving into the lead. Chaz has picked up a 10-second penalty. I think he's just straight line turned 15. GG's to all the drivers. Congratulations to Waldo. And I believe it was his first race of this league. He's picked up a P5. Josh Gilly comes up from P3 on the grid into the win. Lots of ifs about that race. If there was a safety car, if, you know, he didn't get a... If BC didn't get a 5-second penalty for ignoring blues. A lot of ifs. But it's still Josh Gilly who won the race. BC P2. Old rivals back at it again. Congratulations to everyone for a hard-fought race. Harjay picks up the fastest lap of the race, 35.8. Although you can salvage something out of this pretty disastrous race. Chaz, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did straight line at the end. No point finishing for him, so he just ended it himself. Who's like P7? Did Rez classify? I believe he did, as +3. If he does classify, I believe Rez has picked up P9. But, congratulations to all the drivers, and a great race, and we'll see you again next